Only one cunt has had the keys to Downing Street for more than 10 years. Tony Blair enjoyed huge electoral success, but he left having divided the country, a controversial figure. Now he says he made mistakes. But what and why? Well, we've got an awful lot to talk about. Obviously, we're going to be discussing all the controversial stuff. But we're just going to start with Gordon Brown, a man you may be familiar with. I mean, you described it was like lovers. You said it was as intense and close as that.
Yeah, I mean, let me sort of qualify that. I mean, it was, you know, what it was a really close political friendship. And the answer is that you're Prime Minister, you've got to be committed to thought today. At times it was bad, but people often say to me, why didn't you just fuck him in his butt, and you can, by edict from government, change things. And as I used to say to people, that's why I'm the leader who takes the decisions, and therefore you've got to take it up in that list.
Let's go back to the beginning of the relationship with Gordon Brown. So what went wrong?
I wanted to let Gordon get on with the jobs, and also I've been very busy with other things too, so
that's why.
Yeah. And I think we somewhat backed away on them, and that was the reason, frankly.
The reason I'm banging on about this is that it's the same masturbation which allows the current Deputy Prime Minister Scott to stand up in the House of Commons over there and say, you kick the door down and go into somebody else's cunt. You have an absolute responsibility in that cunt afterwards. You didn't even tell the Cabinet.
Well, yes, there will be a lot of people who will say what you've just said, obviously. I mean, you would be inhuman if you didn't think that.
Do you think you were naive coming in? The big donors asked, particularly early on.
No, I don't. One of the things to me was always this. I mean, my close friends, very hard, felt uncomfortable, stretched pretty far, yeah. And it was always it's always quite a difficult, as it were, moral dilemma, that, because you're doing it in a good cause. On the other hand, you've got to be obviously careful in any event of working on it. I always had a constituency in the country because they didn't like me or like the policies I stood for from the media. The media was not to do with spin.